What up? It's your boy Wall Street, and I'm back, ready to talk more hoops with you fine people. So let's dive into it, ladies and gentlemen. And today, another season recap for the 24-25 season. And oh boy, am I excited to be doing this one today, because I have a lot to say. The Dallas Mavericks, who might have had the most shocking season of all time, just based on sheer media coverage from the wild trade that went down midseason that involved Luka Dončić and Anthony Davis. Because this is something that at least in my lifetime, I've never seen anything like this. I don't know if anything like this has ever happened in the NBA, period. Especially as a trade deadline trade. I don't think we've ever seen anything quite like this. And that might not just be the NBA, that might extend to all of sports, right? So obviously before the trade deadline, I believe it was several days before the trade deadline, Luka Dončić was traded by the Dallas Mavericks without him knowing that he was getting traded. He was traded to the Los Angeles Lakers in exchange for Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 first-round pick. And the gut reaction was that, obviously, how in the world do you trade Luka Dončić after he just came off of a playoff run that landed the Mavericks in the finals? The first finals appearance for the Dallas Mavericks since they won the championship in 2011. Absolutely insane, right? So a lot of heads turned and looked at Nico Harrison, their GM. And Nico Harrison at first remarked that defense wins championships. He made, some references indirectly that Luka was out of shape. I'm not sure if it was Nico directly or someone else in the Mavs organization, but these rumors started to come out that Luka was not in shape. He did not have a good work ethic. A lot of bad things, right? Things that were more than just, about his performance. It was more so like you're devaluing the character that this guy has off the court, right? Like, obviously he's a hard worker. You don't get to be this good at anything without being a hard worker. That's just point blank, right? So the Mavs finished the season out 39-43, and obviously they had a lot of injuries. Kyrie Irving tore his ACL, I believe in early March. He is currently slated to return in early January of 2026. So he's going to miss the first couple months of next season, which is going to also put a hindrance in this plan that Nico Harrison has put together. And Anthony Davis, I've said this time and time again, the dude is basically made out of glass. Stephen A. Smith will say this a lot about, other dudes in the NBA like Kawhi Leonard and other injury-prone guys that, they get hurt going to the bathroom. Walking to the bathroom, he gets hurt, right? So it's just Anthony Davis is that type of dude, and he's not getting any younger. Luka is obviously in his mid-20s. Anthony Davis is 32 years old. Kyrie Irving is 33. Klay Thompson, who they signed in the offseason, is 35. And Kyrie Irving has a player option for next season for $43 million. I would imagine, I'm not sure if he's exercised it yet, but I would imagine now with the injury, he's definitely going to exercise that option. Anthony Davis is under contract until the 27-28 season, in which he has a player option for $62.7 million. I would imagine he's probably going to take that deal, because at that point, he's going to be 35 years of age. And again, I want to make sure that everyone knows I'm not knocking Anthony Davis. It's just, you don't trade, you're not going to trade Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for LeBron James. You're just not going to do it. And maybe that's an extreme example. You're not going to trade Shai for LeBron James or Kevin Durant or Steph Curry. You're not going to make those trades just because those dudes are amazing. They're legends. They will be cemented in NBA history. They are first ballot Hall of Famers, no question. But you're not making a trade for a guy that hasn't even entered his prime and not even getting first-round picks in multitude back, right? Getting one first-round pick back is absurd for something like this. And so a lot of what came out afterwards was that Nico Harrison only spoke to Rob Pelinka, who was the Lakers GM, only spoke to Rob Pelinka about trading Luka. They didn't let this secret get out. It was never known that Luka was available, this, that, and it really wasn't like he was available. It was like Nico Harrison just wanted to trade him to the Lakers, and he figured out how to do that. So, very strange. Nico Harrison recently just had his press conference for his exit interview, and he mentioned that he didn't understand how much Luka meant to the city of Dallas and the fan base. And I'm just like, yo, like, what the dude? Like, how do you not know? Like, he gets you to the finals, and don't get me wrong, Kyrie had a big part in that. Gets you to the finals, and they lose 4-1 in the finals. The dude is playing hurt basically the whole time. And he comes back this year. He gets hurt on Christmas. He's out for like over a month, and then you trade him. And you're telling me you didn't understand how much he meant to the city? The dude finished third in MVP voting last season. The dude is like averaging 30 plus. Like it's nothing. And nearly 10 assists. The guy gets triple doubles like it's nothing. He scored 73 points in a game. How do you not know how much a player like this means to the city? Do you think players come along all the time that score 73 points in a game? Like, I don't know how this dude got this job. And I'm really not trying to, like, hate on this dude because he's gotten plenty of flack. But flat out, I don't get it. You could put someone who doesn't even understand basketball in that seat, and I still don't think they're making that trade. And if they are getting more back for it. It's like the Thunder got 7 first-round picks for Paul George, for crying out loud. Like, I don't understand how you get 1 first-round pick back and you get a guy that's over 30 in return. Like, I don't get it. And, like, I like that they got Max Christie. I think Max Christie is a hell of a player. He's no Luka Dončić. Like, come on. Like, so I don't know what the deal is. But the guy, Shaq, said something very interesting on the TNT show the other day. I don't know if it was pregame or postgame, but they were talking about Nico Harrison's exit interview. And he was saying that Nico Harrison wants to be liked. And it's very true. He clearly does want to be liked. But the lack of wherewithal if you want to be liked, how are you trading this guy who is a fan favorite? And he's the best player on your team. He's a top 5 player in the league. He is a generational player. This early into his career, I can already say this guy is likely going to be a Hall of Famer if he doesn't get injured, right? So to act like this dude, and Luka Dončić is like turning into like a Zion Williamson situation where he has all this talent, but he's injured all the time, is just not it. He's not injured all the time. Right? I mean, if you really didn't think that you could, do something about this, again, like if you have to trade him, you open the discussion up to more teams, brother. Like, what are we doing? Like, I don't get it. It's so wild to me. So I don't know. My dream job, honestly, would be like being an NBA GM, right? Among other things. I love doing other things too, like making music and, making these videos, playing 2K, doing all that stuff. But like, if I could be an NBA GM, I would love to do that. I don't know how you make this type of mistake. So this is going to haunt his career, absolutely. But enough with Nico Harrison. Let's review what the outlook for this team looks like, okay? So, like I said, Mavs finished 39-43. They're tied with the Chicago Bulls with a 39-43 record. So they're likely going to get the 11th or 12th pick in the upcoming draft. That's going to be a decent position. They're probably going to be able to get a decent player. Maybe they'll be in a situation to pick up a guy, similar to how Modest Buzelis slipped out of the top 5 last season in the 2024 draft. Maybe they'll also get lucky and they'll get a high draft pick. I have been hearing, rumors that they want to replace Luka Dončić with, Kasparas Jakučionis or Igor Demin, someone like that. I don't know, maybe the Mavs trade up. Who knows, right? Maybe the conspiracy theory that I've heard that I posted about earlier, if you guys haven't seen that video, go check it out, that, Adam Silver and Nico Harrison made a deal that if he trades Luka Dončić, Adam Silver's going to give him the number 1 pick. Maybe if the Mavs get the number 1 pick, they pick Cooper Flagg, everything, all this bad stuff goes away, right? Who knows? Obviously, that's a conspiracy. I highly doubt the Mavs are going to get the number 1 overall pick. But let's see what's going on with their player stats. So obviously, Anthony Davis came in pretty late. Luka Dončić finished the season with them only playing 22 games. He averaged 28 during that time span. Kyrie Irving played 50 games for them, played 36 minutes a game, 24.7 points per game, 4.6 assists. Anthony Davis only played 9 games for them, averaging 20 points and 10 rebounds, 2.2 blocks though. So, like I said, Anthony Davis is still a very, very good player. It's just he's a very different player than Luka Dončić, obviously. PJ Washington, 57 games, 14.7 points, 7.8 rebounds, led the team in rebounding. For those who qualified, obviously Luka does not qualify, but he was averaging 8.3 rebounds before he got traded. Big fan of PJ Washington. Klay Thompson, 14 points per game, 72 games played. Najee Marshall, also a big fan of him, 13.2 points per game. Daniel Gafford, 12.3 points per game, 57 games played, 6.8 rebounds, 1.8 blocks. He led the team in that category. Derek Lively, also injured a lot of the season, only played 36 games. 1.6 blocks per game for him, 8.7 points, 7.5 rebounds. So there's a lot of things to like here. Max Christie, also 11.2 points per game in 32 games played for the Mavs. I'm a big fan of Brandon Williams. Obviously, the Mavs were decimated by injuries throughout the season, so they had to bring up guys from the G League. Brandon Williams wound up playing 33 games for them, 8.3 points per game in just 14.8 minutes. Very efficient player. He's not, under contract for next season, so who knows if he winds up with the Mavs. I would imagine he's earned himself a contract somewhere else in the league if he does not re-sign with the Mavs. But we're going to see what happens with this team, man. I mean, I think let's see what happens with Anthony Davis being fully healthy. Obviously, they got bounced out of the play-in tournament. They beat the Kings quite, easily in Sacramento, and then they lost to the Grizzlies. So they did not qualify for the play-in. They were the 10 spot. And, they have a ton of draft picks in the future. I mean, they have their own. I shouldn't say a ton, but they have their own in 2025. This year, they have their own in 2026. I believe they do not have a pick in 2027. Yeah, their first-round pick in 2027 is protected for selections 1 through 2. So it's top 2 protected, obviously. Unless they're really bad, they might not get that. But they have the Lakers pick in 2029. I would imagine the Lakers are probably going to be pretty good. That pick does not have protections on it, but having Luka Dončić, I would imagine they're not going to be like some, lowly team, right? So they're not swimming in picks. I shouldn't have said they had a ton of picks, but they're not lacking picks. So they do have some ability to improve through the draft here. It's just going to be, I don't know how you rebuild your team's interest, honestly. I just think, even if the team was not doing great, Luka Dončić sells tickets. He sells tickets. The dude is awesome to watch. He's probably my favorite player in the league to watch just because of how quickly he can light it up. And you don't have that anymore. You have Kyrie, but Kyrie's a little bit older. You don't know how much longer he's going to play. Obviously, this ACL injury could be hard for him to come back from. Big part of his game is his agility and his shiftiness. So that might be altered after this injury. We never know. I hope it's not. Big fan of Kyrie and his game. So I would hope we get to see this Mavericks team at full health, with Kyrie, Anthony Davis, Klay Thompson. There's been rumors that maybe they try to bring in Kevin Durant, something like that. I don't know. I don't think that really gets the team over the top at this point. Kevin Durant's a great player, but clearly did not work in Phoenix. I don't think it's going to work in Dallas. It's my personal opinion. But we'll see what happens, man. We'll certainly see what happens. And I think, if you're a Mavs fan, stay hopeful. I think things will turn around eventually. It's going to take a minute, but man, I feel for you guys because, I felt some type of way when, the Wizards traded away John Wall. That situation made a lot more sense, and we got Russell Westbrook back. It was a little different, right? This, I don't know how you feel about that. I don't know how you can just swallow that pill. I mean, if I was a Mavs fan, I'd still be sick to my stomach about this. So, to say the least, rough season for the Mavericks and their fans, going from the NBA Finals to outside of the playoffs and losing your best player by choice, at least from the organization standpoint, is, it's tough. It's tough. So if you're a Mavs fan, I'm feeling for you. I hope you guys get a real exciting player in the draft, and that's able to kind of rebuild some of, the fandom and the love for the franchise, because, it's hard when you don't control what the team does and they make a decision that just seems so wrong. It's just, you kind of still have to be a fan if you're really deep rooted in it. That's how I am with the Wizards. And I imagine there's plenty of Mavericks fans out there that do the same. So I'm feeling for you guys, but that's my recap for this team. I think, they have an interesting future ahead of them, but it definitely looked brighter with Luka Dončić. So we'll see what happens. A lot of unpredictability coming up with this team. Hopefully they can stay healthy, and we'll see what happens, man. But that's all I got. Leave some comments down below. If you're a Mavs fan, let me know what you think about this whole situation with Luka. Let me know how you feel about your team. I want to get some insight so we can talk, we can link, we can build, we can do all that. And I'm going to check you guys later, man. Stay up, stay blessed, stay humble. And I'm going to catch you later. Handle business, stand on business. Peace out.